talk about Jakeema and Donny in this last episode of Love During Lockup, and I do want to talk about some recent updates that she has shared on social media. So first, let's talk about the season finale. We see Jakeema, and she decides to call her dad, and I guess this whole time, her dad hasn't had a single clue that Donny is locked up in prison. So she dropped the news. He reacted like we would expect. Who wants to hear that their daughter is dating a prisoner, let alone somebody who's dating a prisoner and up and moved their 2 kids to another state for this prisoner and has their kids calling this prisoner daddy? And then she invited her dad over to come visit. So he comes over and Jakeema decides to do a video call so Donny can talk to her dad. And Donny pops up, and I thought Donny did a great job talking to her dad. He was a smooth talker. He knew how to say all the right things to win her dad's heart over. But it even seemed like her dad was being more of a realist than Jakeema is, because he even seemed skeptical at first and was like, well, what are you going to tell me that's going to convince me that you're not going to get out and go to the same things? And he's like, oh, I promise you that life is behind me. I love your daughter. I wouldn't put her in any danger like that. When you literally just got in trouble and had to move prisons because you're allegedly doing something you shouldn't have been doing. Then once Donny felt like he won Jakeema's dad over, he's like, well, I got something I want to ask you, Pops. And then he's like, what is that? And he's like, I want to know if I can have your daughter's hand in marriage. Which I thought that was adorable that he asked the dad. I mean, it would have been better if he would have done it without Jakeema there, so it could have at least been a little bit of a surprise once he did pop the question. But Jakeema loved it. She was cheesing like a little kindergartner who had her first crush or just found out what cute boys are. And you can tell that she really loves Donny and is looking forward to her future with Donny. And her dad, to my surprise, gave his approval, but he still seems pretty skeptical. Like, he's one of those dudes that are like, I'm gonna have to see it before I really believe it. Then the episode wrapped up. There wasn't really a lot with them in the season finale outside of the proposal. And then at the end of the episode, we found out that Jakeema is still in Ohio waiting for Donny, and it said he's not supposed to get out until 2029. I'm sorry, I don't know if I could do it. 4 years is a long time, especially when you're in your 30s and you're in your prime, and most people are ready to like settle down by now or already have. But she must really love him to be willing to wait that long, especially with the fact that they can't even visit each other. She still isn't on his visiting list, so pretty much she's in Ohio for no reason whatsoever. She must have a pretty flexible job or income where she can work and doesn't really matter what state she's in. But I was like, man, why are you doing this? But if Donny's paying for everything and she doesn't have to pay rent, I guess that kind of is a smart move. Like, hey, she can stack her money up for the next 4 years. He gets out. It either works out or it doesn't. But if it doesn't, at least she's been able to stack her money the past 4 years while he pays bills. I mean, it's kind of like the whole Jade and Chris situation. Like, I saw some people saying, oh, she's gonna leave him while he's in prison. And I'm like, yeah, please. She's not about to date or leave him when he is getting paid like $10,000 to $12,000 a month and is sending that to Jade, and she has a whole 4 or 5 bedroom house with a pool and multiple vehicles and an RV all on his dime while he's in prison. So you get to live this nice life, have everything paid for, and you really don't even have to deal with the man outside of phone calls. I will say, though, this might be considered a hot take. I do think Jakeema and Donny are adorable together. Like, they make sense together. They're like 2 peas in a pod. But he needs to stay out of trouble and not be putting her or her kids at risk. And Jakeema, after the season finale, well, this was actually right before, she posted on her Instagram and she said, look, I've had the big rock. I've had the big wedding. I've been the housewife. I didn't have to work. The good life, it's deeper than this for me. Have you ever looked like a chipmunk in your wedding photos because a grown man bit you in your face, all because you said you don't want to walk down the aisle the next day? Hold on, let me cook. You ever spoke up to get away from the abuser, and the person that you spoke up to gets unalived 3 days later? You ever look in the mirror and have to look at scars a man left you on your body, or suffer from headaches from a blow to your temple that left you with a concussion and was an inch away from unaliving you? One of these days, I'll share my story. So it sounds like Jakeema has definitely been through a lot in her life. And she said, I will not be watching tonight's episode. It's too emotional for me. Like, I'm in tears right now looking at clips. I just can't. Opening up to things I keep hidden behind my smile was hard. And then she said, you know what? I'm actually going to watch the episode. I'm gangster. And then the episode aired. And the next day, she decided to post on her stories, and she said, like Beyonce, but with an F, I said yes. Donny comes home in March of 2027. Stay tuned. And she showed off a picture of her engagement ring. And on the show, they claim that Donny gets out in 2029. And that's the same exact thing that his public record claims, even though Jakeema has been screaming from the rooftops that he gets out sooner than that. And after she shared this engagement ring, she suddenly posted to her stories and said, I'm single as F, don't ask me about no man, thanks. Then she captioned this post with, Alexa, play Return of the Mac. And I was so confused because I was literally just in her comments the day before, and she's talking about, oh, Donny's such a great guy. He really is. And next thing you know, she's like, I'm single. Don't ask me about him. And then she posts the next day, Donny and I is not broken up. I wanted to see exactly what y'all would say or do. Y'all delusional. 1 minute, it's you deserve better. Then I say we broke up. It's, oh my God, I was rooting for y'all. Shut the F up. I bet you had a field day with that. Moral of the story, mind your business. And I'm just like so confused what the motive behind this is. To me, it's just screaming like attention grab. I think she just wanted some attention. She wanted to post something and see like how big and how fast it could get around, and she saw it did. I posted about it, several other blogs posted about it, and then once everyone starts talking about it, she's like, y'all are delusional. Why would you think we're broken up? Even though she said that her and Donny were broken up. She said, y'all believe anything. That's the point. Well, it came out of your mouth. I mean, and just because it comes out of someone's mouth doesn't make it true. But, I mean, if she's saying her and Donny are broken up, most people aren't going to think, oh, she's just doing this to test the water. She's just doing this to see what people are really going to say. And I didn't even know what she's talking about when she's saying that people were saying, oh, you deserve better, and like change the narrative about how they felt about the situation now that they were no longer together. I searched up and down for these comments and I could not find them anywhere, so I was just confused. I just feel like this was a publicity stunt at this point. And now I'm going to be second guessing everything she's posting. Like, is this just another test that she's doing? Or is this real talk right here? But that is pretty much it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about Jakeema and Donny in this season of Love During Lockup. I wish we would have got to see like more of Donny. Like, I feel like, I guess we couldn't really get to see him that much because he was in the hole. I don't know, I just feel like we didn't get to see much of Donny this season at all. And at this point, it's like, if we're only going to see the inmates through video call like in 1 or 2 episodes, and I don't even understand the point, because it's just hard to have one single cast member who is the non-inmate carry the whole storyline unless you have somebody that's super crazy. But I really haven't been able to see anybody really be able to hold it down outside of Ty, and even her storyline got busy or boring after a while. I would much rather see a single show of inmates getting out of prison single and trying to navigate the waters of getting back into the dating life again, because I feel like they miss out on some really interesting people just because they're going with people who are strictly in relationships. And I feel like that would be more interesting compared to the whole concept of love during lockup, where you only have one person who's outside that can really even film much. I am about to go to bed, guys, so let me know what you guys think about these two in the comments below, and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.